I wanted to get to a bigger point. Because the time comes, somewhat pun intended, for us to take the gloves off when it comes to Jake Paul.
Loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet.
Fixing the fights. It's not fair. It's an embarrassment on boxing. He shouldn't be doing this. It's so embarrassing. He's fighting old men.
Stephen A. Smith strongly criticized Jake Paul for picking much older opponents, saying his fights might be fake. He said Jake keeps calling out older fighters like Mike Tyson, who's 58, which he believes is dangerous and wrong. Smith accused Jake of paying these older fighters big money just to get them into the ring and make a profit.
These are the kind of things that I'm talking about here. Boxing's a skill. Let me give y'all an example. Remember Francis Ngannou? Remember that monster? That Nigerian nightmare? Remember him? And then we saw him show up and show a little skill against Tyson Fury, who came there out of shape. What happened when he got into the ring with Anthony Joshua? He got put to sleep, much in the same way Nate Robinson got put to sleep. Boxing is a skill. Jake Paul is a professional. He trains. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Beterbiev, Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation.
Fans were shocked during the 7th round of Jake's fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. because some people saw online that Jake was already listed as the winner before the fight was over. This made many wonder if the fight was fixed. To people who doubt Jake, this looked like proof that the fight result was decided before the final bell.
As you are watching this video, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it yourself. Peace.
A lot of people were confused by how passive Julio looked. He barely moved or threw punches for most of the fight, which is strange for an experienced boxer. In the last 2 rounds, he finally threw some punches, but it seemed more like he was just trying to avoid embarrassment. Fans started calling Jake Fake Paul, saying the fight looked staged, not real.
Under 40 in 6 months. And he's been off the El Chapitos. He's been off the El Mayo Zambada up his nose. So he's probably more like 48 adjusted. A 48-year-old man. Okay? There's numerous angles here, right? Was he paid not to throw punches? That's possible. Is he just 48 in La Coca years? That's also possible. What we know for a fact is Fake Paul's useless, honestly. He's proper useless. Chavez like this, just standing there. No pace. In the last few rounds he had a little bit of pace. Even then, Fake Paul just clings on though. Fake Paul's, I've been saying this, Fake Paul's got no inside at all. He's got no stand and let's have a look. Let's work here. If he's coming at me. He clings on for dear life. He kind of pushes his punches out. Slap, slap, slap. No, all this talk of power. These dudes, Chavez actually, he looked a bit smaller than Fake Paul. Fake Paul's not a cruiserweight. He's a light heavyweight, honestly. He's so soft. He's got like these big rubber dingy arms. Big rubber, soft. Chavez looked more like an athlete. But that'll be on, well, is Jake Paul going to fight anyone? They're already walking back the Zerdo situation. Oh, Zerdo don't sell. Well, we knew Zerdo didn't sell.
People are still talking about it online. Many say something didn't feel right. One person tweeted, "No way a real boxer just stands there for 8 rounds doing nothing, then suddenly starts punching at the end and looks fresh." He was told. To lose, fans feel that these kinds of fights with stars like Jake are more about hype than real boxing. While they attract big audiences, true boxing fans feel it's more about money than fair fights.
You felt like boxing's pretty rigged overall.
Oh, yes, Rick, dude. I mean, so many politics, even with, MMA, man, there's so many politics. There's no more art anymore. It's just, let's get an influencer in there. I get it. It's like generating money because our attention span is so short. You look at clips now, it's like 7 seconds. I saw a dude slamming a lady the other day, and they were like, oh my God, that dude is... I'm like, well, what the do? I'm just going to pick somebody and slam him. Where's the whole video? And our attention span is just so small. So money talks, of course. Yeah, let's get an influencer in there who has no style, but it draws attention. It's just dumb to me.
Some people believe the fight wasn't fixed, but was just for easy money. Julio only threw 13 punches in the whole fight, which made people think he didn't even train properly. They say Julio's father should have stepped in to protect their family's reputation. Taking the fight in such bad shape looked like taking easy money at the cost of pride.
Results, a couple of shocking results. I think that JakePaul undercards and the promotional arm of his brand, I think, is the most fun part of what JakePaul brings to boxing. Honestly, I think long term, I think that's what we can hold hope for. Because Jake's fights are, this one was borderline atrocious, and kind of the writing was on the wall. But I gotta admit, even I bought drank the Kool-Aid, and mainly I drank the Kool-Aid because Chavez Sr., who also is disgraceful for doing this, made me believe, and I think, this has been the problem with Chavez Jr. He's been enabled constantly by the media, the promoters, his family, and all this other stuff. So he never really shows up prepared. He never cares and just shows up to get paid and basically steals the bag every single time. And he did it tonight again. The reason I actually thought this fight had a chance was because Chavez Sr. Guaranteed us that his son was motivated and was having a training camp. So as much of a Hall of Fame career as the father had, he's the con artist, I guess, must run in the family, because Junior's been a con artist his whole career, but at least he's been enabled through it, But now the father doing this, I mean, you knew already your son wasn't going to be ready. You put your own reputation on the line and sold us this crap. And then ultimately your son throws what most guys will throw in a round. He throws it through 10 rounds. It was actually kind of really insane.
JakePaul has denied all these rumors, especially about his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. He says people spread these stories because they're jealous or don't want to accept his success. But since he keeps fighting retired or inactive fighters, many fans don't believe him. The Tyson fight has made people even more suspicious because Jake has a history of questionable matchups.
After I beat Mike Tyson, the amount of people saying this is rigged was crazy. They showed this clip of Mike Tyson going to swing at me with a left hook, and he stopped doing it, but saw I had my right hand up. So he would have swung like this. I catch it and shoot. He's leaning forward I could have knocked him out. So that's why he stopped throwing it. And it's they play this one clip and it has literally 50 million views on TikTok, but the average person doesn't understand boxing.
Boxing coach and ex-Olympian Tony Jeff added his opinion too. He said people are quick to call Jake's wins fake because they don't want to accept that he's actually winning. Jeff said it's true Jake fights older or weaker boxers, but that doesn't mean the fights are scripted.
You might be raging and saying, but he's fixing the fights. It's not fair. It's the embarrassment on boxing. He shouldn't be doing this. It's so embarrassing. He's fighting old men. Well, is it a fix? No, mate. It's not a fix. Is Julio Cesar Chavez past his best? Yes. Was Mike Tyson past his best? Absolutely, mate. Now, if you look at all of the great fighters, look at all of the records, and you can go on Box Record and see this, you'll see that they are fighting either one of two people. Either a person who's a journeyman, who's coming in there just to lose and give the fighter their experience, or they'll be fighting someone who might have been a former champion who is now past it. And finding these right opponents is key for the development of any fighter, not just someone like JakePaul, but any fighter. Now, with Jake, because he's got so much attention on him, people are seeing this, whereas normally fighters are not even live on TV until they've had X amount of fights. If you look at someone like Floyd Mayweather, look what we fought in his 4th pro fight, or even his 10th pro fight. Some of these fights will not be on TV. And now Jake is on TV and he's fighting former world champions, which he's fought a few now. I think everyone should give him respect now as a fighter. Fighting someone like that and putting so much pressure on himself as well. Now, do I think that fight and other fights was rigged? Absolutely not. I think that Jake is very smart. He's picking the right fights, but at the same time, he's developed as a very good fighter now. There's no denying that he is a very good fighter now. Yes, he did lose that one fight to Tommy Fury by, was it a split decision?
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. says he's not quitting boxing, even though people criticized him so much. He says it was just a bad fight, but fans don't believe him. They wonder how he can claim to be a real fighter when he only threw a few punches. His comments after the fight didn't help, and critics say he's setting a bad example for young boxers.
Well, what was difficult to do in the fight tonight that you wanted to do, but you couldn't?
Our confidence, first round, and come forward. I think when I'm like back, it's not good for me. So if I'm fighting again, like I doing this. So take the punches, but come forward and try to be more inside, because when I see him inside, his punches don't have the same power. So I think I doing a mistake in these things, like right at distance.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. I kept asking myself, why isn't he working on the inside, throwing body shots, hook, upper, you know?
Yes. So maybe more fights, a little more confidence. I need more confidence.
This isn't the first time people have said Jake's fights look fake. Fans have noticed he keeps picking old or easy opponents and gets massive publicity for it. His fight with Tyson makes these rumors even stronger, with people saying it's just for promotion, not a real match. Jake knows how to get attention, but it also makes people question if he's a real boxer.
More important and quite serious news in the combat sports world. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust two professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them.
There are even rumors that Jake's fight with Tyson might be scripted. Some say there will be rules on how both fighters should act, with controlled punches and planned moments. There are reports that Tyson could lose money if he knocks Jake out too soon. If true, this would prove the fight is staged to protect Jake.
Y'all already know I'm mad about this fight. I really wasn't even going to talk about it because I already felt like it was a setup. But when Trick Daddy Dollars posted this on Instagram, it really just confirmed and solidified everything. So, Trick Daddy Dollars posted this on Instagram, and I'm going to read it to social media. So, it says the rules for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight are designed to favor Jake Paul. These include: the rules are extremely favorable to Jake Paul. The contract will incentivize Mike Tyson to lose and give Jake Paul an opportunity to choose himself as a winner. The first stipulation in the contract will punish Tyson for knocking out Jake because he is paid on a sliding scale per round. If Tyson knocks Jake out in the first round, he would receive no money. If he knocks him out in the second round, he would only make a small amount of cash. For Tyson to make the most money he needs to survive all 8 rounds which means avoiding knocking Jake Paul out. If the fight goes to a split decision, it favors Jake Paul because the judges have to be approved by Jake Paul. I'll let y'all read that.
Many fans believe Jake pays his opponents not just to fight, but to make sure they don't beat him. They say this because his fights often have low punch counts, no knockdowns, and strange endings. After beating Julio, Jake got ranked in the top 15 for cruiserweights, which shocked many people because Julio barely fought back. To critics, it felt more like good PR than real boxing.
Then you want us to respect Jake Paul as a fighter, but how you want me to respect this man as a boxer and he basically pays his opponents to lose? The culture didn't want to see that. All the 80s babies and people born in earlier times did not want to see that fight. And I think if I knew these rules, which I believe these rules make a lot of sense to why Mike Tyson really didn't fuck him up. And it's like, why do you think people want to continue to watch a Jake Paul fight when every time it's going to always be in his favor because people are paid to lose? Nah, respectfully, that's not real boxing. That's not real fighting. I'm sorry. And I know for Tyson, he's retired anyway. He's still the champ. This fight didn't mean anything, but it meant everything for Mike Tyson fans. And I'm just like, I'm disappointed. And I wasn't even going to come on social media. But like I said, once I saw Trick Daddy post that, I was like...
People noticed that Julio's body language looked fake too. His few punches looked weak and delayed, like he was pretending. He even bit his glove during the fight, which made people think it was all planned. These strange moments make Jake's fights look more like a show than a real sport. Still, some people think Jake deserves credit for working hard. Adam Smith, for example, says Jake's journey from YouTuber to main event boxer is impressive, whether people love him or hate him. Jake has turned boxing into a big spectacle. His story is a sign of how boxing is changing in the social media age.
I mean, if he does, it's going to be one of the great stories of this generation, isn't it? They start off as YouTubers, as influencers. I love working with Logan Paul and KSI when we did that fight together. It was the sort of start of it. My kids love what they've done, the whole Misfits thing. Look, yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and that European title fight doesn't get any better. But Jake Paul has millions and millions of followers.